It's been a while since I made the last video back in October. Since then I've resigned from the previous work, took a break, went back to home and tried to find another job, and recently I should be able to start working soon in this case. So about the situation with leaving the job and maybe some other things, I'll try to explain it a bit through some comics under the quotes, more or less. So I've tried drawing a bit and made like 3 or 4 pages of some kind of comic in this case that I could also use as a template. So in this case I will try to explain why I most likely want to leave in this case, as considering the situation with all the work in this case. It's been a while since I made the last video back in October, so since then I've resigned from the previous job. It's been a while since I made the last video back in October, so since then I've left the It's been a while since I made last video back in October last year. Since then I've resigned from previous work, started looking for a new one, and well, also I had to take a long break in this case. I also left the apartment where I was near the work, so a lot of things have changed in my case. So I might as well also show some stuff about what actually gave me the breaking point for leaving the work. I also left the apartment, and well, I screwed up actually trying to get a job in some cases. So I'll do that with some comics, like there are 3 or 4 pages in this case, where I'll just fill out the blank and you'll figure out in this case. So I'll just copy paste instead of like going completely typing it in. So yeah, first of all, let's guess that as I'm an Android developer and well, mobile app developer, so and you could expect that I would actually work on mobile apps. So in this case, let's assume that Windows Me is some kind of mobile app and Microsoft is one of those clients. So they asked us to work on Windows Me in this case. So I have to work on this alone. I did not have anyone else in the team that would actually work in things that I actually worked on. So yeah, so I was pretty much solo in that case. So yeah, now I have to expect a few more things that have occurred during that time. Let me expand that. Okay. Yeah, let's just keep it like that. So what I'm supposed to even do? I just got told that I will work on Windows Me, but what I'm supposed to do? Any kind of documentation? How long it will take to work on that? Like 6 months? More? Years? I don't know. Am I going to even get a raise? I've worked for like 4 or, well, yeah, about 4 or more, 4 years maybe, with 650 euros per month. That's the net value, at least. So, and everything else kept increasing in prices except for the salary in this case. So what was the response? Yeah, I'll have to expand on that. And we'll just shrink the font. Okay, not enough still. It's not that big. Yeah. Okay, so you just have to make Windows Me into XP. That was the kind of breaking point. So basically you had to redesign like some kind of application to the point where everything will actually break. So you have like literally unstable project that you have to do fixes and stuff, and instead no, just redesign to make it look like XP and everything will be just fine. Simple as that. No documentation needed. There might be some, but you either look up online or just figure out the documents that you actually even get that are all even difficult to figure out. Yeah, instead of getting a raise, instead of that, try saving money, like using less electricity, buy less food. I don't know. But yeah, along with that, instead of like saving money, why not just get a loan and get a new car, and then also buy gas, do maintenance for the car in the future. So yeah, that should be all the cheapest stuff ever, right? Yeah, no. In this case, it's not. Let me just repeat that a bit. I screwed up. So okay, I screwed up again. Okay, that's what I wanted actually to do. Just punch in the face like that, because it's sometimes really it sometimes gets real stressful to do the development in some cases where you're getting to the point where when you have to do something that you actually don't even know how to do, or you're not even able to do. So yeah, personally, I will never be able to actually redesign Windows CE to XP. That's still nearly the most impossible thing ever to do. I mean, you can redesign Windows ME to make it look like XP, but it will just still be the same trash like Windows ME in that case. Even though I did use the Windows ME for like, I don't know, 4 or 6 years also, that doesn't make any difference between ME and XP. In that case, XP is still more stable and better in this situation. Okay, so back to this. So I leave the work, then I also have to leave the apartment. So why? Well, as everyone else, you always have at least one stupid roommate. At least one stupid. Others might be even okay, but always one has to screw everything up. So, for example, his Wi-Fi is very slow and not working. So each of us had a single router. So each of us also paid for the internet access separately. In this case, we both used like 4G router, and the signal was kind of always a mess in some cases, but in some cases it's also quite good. But this was kind of the breaking point for that moron, and you'll see why. So first, my response: why are you asking me for help in this case? The reason for that is your Wi-Fi is slowing down my speed, so you have to turn off your Wi-Fi. I can expect that that if you have like 10 or 15 hotspots in same location, that there will be probably some connection issues or lower speed in some ways. Like that's a lot of those hotspots in that area. But in our case, there were only 2 Wi-Fi hotspots, his and mine. I was in upstairs and he was downstairs. So there was basically no way that he was actually getting lower speeds just because I had all my router on. So that's all. Even though our speeds were at maybe about 50 megabits per second when the signal is good. When it's bad, maybe about 5 or 10. I would say about that. Now, what about interview? So yeah, I've took about 100 I've applied for 100 jobs, maybe got about 20 interviews, passed at least maybe 2 or 3 of them for technical assignment, and remaining were basically rejected. So yeah, what I mostly screwed up is the following. So do you have any experience with unit testing? So what's unit testing in this case? It's well, let me just show you. I'll try to show it just in a simple way as possible. So basically, unit test is basically just testing your part of code with another code that tests some kind of scenario in this case. So basically for summing them numbers, in this case it's actually wrong. So this is not actually addition, it's a subtraction in this case. So this will actually fail, as if you try to sum 1 and 1, it should be true. But in this case it will end up being 0. So in that case it will throw an exception. So if you want to fix this, we will actually add it up, and now it should work. So sum 1, sum 2, and you get 3. So that's basically how unit tests should basically work. Even though you have like frameworks and utilities, now that's not a big deal in this case. Now back to this. So yeah, obviously I had no ability to do such thing at work, as not a lot of us actually cared about that much. At least for my platform. Yeah, so I was not able to do that at work, to actually doing kind of continuous integration or deployment. Pretty much nothing of that, no time to do that, just develop, do rush development and hope for the best. So yeah, the result is usually you don't qualify for this job. And obviously enough, it's not the interviewer that's going to get hit, it's going to be me, as I've scrubbed up that situation where I'm supposed to actually say that I'm still able to do such things, but I should not say that I did not actually do that before. So usually in this case you would have to go with like, you know, the basics of unit testing. You'll most likely just have to say that you know it, and then start studying it and figure out how the best way it works before you actually get the technical assignment in this case. So yeah, overall that's pretty much about the situation in this case. So about the future, I want to still make videos. I still have some ideas, but sometimes I do not have enough time to actually work on them. And in some cases it feels like when I actually make one, it's not that interesting. Like for many of those videos that I make, there's not a lot of attention in some cases. And well, I kind of I might be able to even blame myself, as I'm talking through this all the time, not actually showing anything. So yeah, in the future I'll probably still try to make some kind of video. Hopefully I'll try not to do any kind of clickbait still. I hope that's not going to be the case. I don't want to like keep saying like please like, share and subscribe and all that junk. Basically, if you're actually human, you'll actually figure out on your own where to like, if you really like the video, if you really like to subscribe, or if you like to share it to someone who might be interested about things like this, and not just like, share and subscribe just for the point of like me saying it. That kind of kills the whole point in this case. Now I actually forgot what I actually wanted to tell in this case. So yeah, I've also done some few projects in the meantime, so I'll probably try to do some showcase of those too. Maybe I'll also try to consider live streaming on maybe on Twitch, maybe on YouTube if possible. Maybe just doing the gameplay of stuff, or just doing absolutely nothing. I don't know. Just I will try to do something enough at least to give it some news that you could actually watch something, but not getting to the point where you just watch it for no reason, or watching to the point where it gets kind of boring. So that's most likely that's one of the things you most likely not want to even watch. Who gives a damn about some person who actually speaks with some terrible accent and keeps kind of stalling a lot, like and like that. So yeah, I'll try. Well, I cannot actually try like improving my actual voice. That's kind of still impossible for me, except if I try to stream constantly, I can keep speaking all the time, but for some people that will probably be annoying as hell, as far as I'm saying. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm still speaking trying to speak me in the meantime while this maze is trying to reach that damn smiley that was in front of it, but it went to the left side. So yeah, that's now giving me a bit of maybe of OCD in some way. Yeah, about OCD, I always have like trouble with recording some stuff as when I try to do something, then I want to make sure that everything looks like perfect. But usually in that case, that's not the most important thing ever, as most of people, as I've heard, they don't need like perfection. They just need to do. They just want the videos to be something interesting, damn it, and not like me talking over some bullshit while the 3D maze is appearing in this case. Something like that. Okay, maybe I'm not. Yeah, but yeah, about that also, when I'm trying to record something, I try to simulate it like it's kind of a stream. So I use OBS Studio. I only have keep recording it as it is. I'm not cutting anything in between unless it's something like real long. And well, that's done. So yeah, I try to keep it like a stream in some way. So just keep it all straightforward, no scripts except for some parts, and just crop start and the end, and that's pretty much it. Okay, that's enough of talk. That's not enough of this, and okay, so that's it. Thanks for the watching. Hopefully you'll still watch. Hopefully you'll still share something. So yeah, that's it, and bye.